Hello and Happy New Year from your pals here at 321 Presents. That is, of course, your host this week, me, Nick, and my co-host, Zach.
Hello, hello.
And we are here at the end of the year, just about to have a nice little recap episode, a New Year's special, as it were, and do all those classic end-of-year wrap-up sort of things. Is there anywhere you'd like to start our New Year's Eve discussions?
Yeah, let's start in the way of media. And the thought I had is there's always this, I guess, phrase that comes with New Year. New Year, new me is what all the people be saying out there.
Sure, I've heard of
it
this.
It will come across your TikTok and Instagrams and
yeah.
all the other social medias. And I thought, what better way to talk about the New Year than talk about some of our favorites that have gotten potentially new mead, or AKA sort of reimaginations, things of that nature. So my thought is like the Spider-Mans. We've had New Year, New Me, 3 different Spider-Mans, the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Same thing happens with Batman. Those sort of things. Is there one that comes to you as your favorite, sort of reimagining or refacing, reskinning, if you were?
That's a tough one. I'm interested to see another Robert Pattinson Batman before I'm like fully. I like the first one, but you got to do more than one to outdo the Christopher Nolan trilogy in my books. The one that I think is doing the most interesting stuff right now, but I have not kept up with it as much, is I would say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that one's gotten a lot of.
There have been a lot of different takes, but I like the new kind of cast and animation style that was very heavily Spider-Verse influenced, of like breaking out of just being a 3D film and like doing something with a little bit more texture, a little bit more style.
One of the few where they're actually teenagers too.
And they've cast appropriately, yeah. It's not Ben Schwartz and a bunch of other comedians.
I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and I'm massive.
Doing their just up a little bit of an octave voice.
That's a good one. I do like that one.
Yeah, what about you? Do you have any that come to top of your list?
The Batman one for sure is at the top of my list. The new Batman is unarguably one of my favorite Batman of all time ever, even with just the one. The new Superman that just came out.
I would agree on the Superman being, that's a nice refresh, our first taste of the DC verse under gun.
My heart hurt for Henry Cavill not being Superman because he did a very good job. But unfortunately, I kind of forgot all about him, and this one really took the cake.
This Superman would never have ripped Zod's head off.
No, he's a good boy. A good boy.
I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Superman are like my main 2 polls, because as we've distinguished, I have more of the independent creators in my taste list, so I tend to be on those independent and unique IPs that have not been getting several layers of redo just yet.
I am curious, do the Power Rangers fall within this category?
Oh, that's a tough one because I haven't really cared about the Power Rangers for a long, long time now.
They continue
to pump out. I'm impressed by the longevity, but I could not tell. Like, I remember they did do a big screen movie version a few years back that did not do very well.
It did not do well, but it was really good actually. If you haven't taken a time to go, like sit down and watch it, worthwhile. It's unfortunately just the one, and they did leave us.
There've been I think that was pre-quarantine as well, so that threw a lot of breaks on a lot of projects. But yeah, I can't say, like, I know the TV series continue on. There's a lot of funny.
They've almost run out of so many. They've gone through so many that they've even gone back and redone.
Yeah, sequel seasons of old ones and stuff. I know there's a big now expanded Rangers verse of like lore to keep up with.
So massive.
Because all of the different forms of Zords and stuff have their like origin stories, similar to Pokedex entries.
Yeah. Included in this is the Disney live actions of all of our favorite childhood movies.
Ooh, I haven't really found any of those to be an upgrade or improvement over any of the originals just yet.
I don't know how if you could upgrade or improve upon them, but is there one that's not so terrible or that you might even call good?
Let me see what my options are on that one.
Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Stitch, Moana's coming.
I think the Jungle Book might be my pull, but that's the oldest one.
I forgot about the Jungle Book.
That was they do a Little Mermaid already?
They did?
Oh yes, Mermaid. I remember because the Little Mermaid was black.
Yeah, got a lot of hate.
Yeah, very controversial. There was a Pinocchio. I'm not even familiar with a lot of these.
I don't remember the Pinocchio one either.
Mulan?
Not yet. Oh yeah, they did do it. That one was in the that's the terrible one.
That had the bad release date.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Maleficent series was kind of interesting. I didn't see the latest of those though. But yeah, because I definitely have not kept up with this full list. I remember the Jungle Book one.
I forgot. You just reminded me of so many ones that kind of slipped under my radar.
Yeah, they've been at it for a while. The Jungle Book was the 2016 kickoff of it.
The Jungle Book one was huge. The Lion King one was huge.
They've done Beauty and the Beast. That was Hermione. Christopher Robin with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, that one slipped under the...
Dumbo came out and disappeared. Aladdin in the same year.
I forgot about Aladdin too. Oh, that's the terrible not the terrible Will Smith one. He is included.
He was the genie in that one, yeah. Lion King and Mufasa have the live action treatment with the lions.
Yeah, Stitch wasn't bad if you're a Stitch person.
Cruella, that was Emma Stone.
Cruella was actually a pretty decent movie.
Didn't see that one. Pinocchio, Peter Pan, and Wendy, that completely slid under my radar. Little Mermaid, Mufasa, Snow White, Lilo and Stitch are all the currently released ones. And then, upcoming.
Moana.
Tangled is on the list. Hercules, Bambi, a third Maleficent film, an untitled Gaston-centered film, and Cruella 2, a sequel.
There's some in there that I think could be hits and bangers, like the forgotten Disney movies. Like one of my favorite is Treasure Planet is up there for me. I think Atlantis is part of their universe that doesn't get a whole lot of love.
They got a little bit of a nod in the animated series of DuckTales, but I'd love to see them pull out my cultural favorite, the Three Caballeros, which is a very old pull and would have to be vastly updated with the information that they gave about some South American countries.
What do you mean? I'm sure.
I'm just saying it's a very different time than 1968 or whenever when that originally came out.
That is true.
But I do still love that one, and it's got a lot of good dance numbers.
Also good for the cultural representation. Didn't get a lot of it back in the day.
Yeah, I'll take the smooth talking birds.
Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah. But as I mentioned, for other more original IP, I think this year I also have to shout out Sinners. How did you take Sinners? You guys watched that after spooky season?
I did, kind of at the tail end there. We were spooky season adjacent.
Sure.
I gave it 1 out of 2 Michael B. Jordans.
Only half Michael B. Jordans, huh?
You got 1 out of the 2 Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but that's not full Michael B. Jordans.
No. I'm curious, and I know it's not on his radar, but Coogler, I think we're done with this story. And what was his first original story that he's told, if I remember correctly from the top of my head? I am excited to see because I know he's pushing really hard to go do the X-Files to make it spooky and creepy, just how everyone loves and remembers it.
I do think he did sign on for a second one of these, though, if I remember correctly. But
last I heard, which was around the release days, this is done so well, I'm not doing anything until someone lets me do the X-Files, but I could be wrong.
He has the power to do that now as well. So.
Oh, for sure. Man's got banger after banger after banger now. Him and Michael B. Jordan, really, but...
it's a good combo. And it's a classic staple in Hollywood for a director and actor to kind of do their thing kind of through their prime. The other one I wanted to call out was K-Pop Demon Hunters, the summer takeover.
Who knew? Who would have guessed?
It was kind of out of nowhere, but very glad to see that this project got all the love poured into it's like returned and then some.
It's gotten a lot of flack, especially now that we're kind of heading in towards a more award season. Everyone's like, "What the heck?"
I mean, just the fact that like it's even in the conversation is kind of an impressive thing for the expectations of a Netflix movie.
It's one of the few movies I think Netflix has ever done that required a actual theater released where your fans could go hang out and sing
they
along.
demanded to see, to have the fun karaoke version.
Absolutely.
Those are for sure my two, and we already mentioned Superman. Those are going to be my top 3 movies of the year.
Yeah, Superman's up there for me. I recently just watched F1. F1 was really good. You don't even have to be a fan of F1 if you're just a fan of just like sports and sort of just that sort of.
Is that one of those like classic, the two racers dueling against each other type story, or is it like following a single racer?
It follows a single racer and sort of his journey and what racing means to him, and it's a good little story there. The other movie I recently saw this week is Avatar. Avatar was a good time.
The newest one?
The newest one.
Okay.
Brand new.
I'm 2 Avatars behind, so I feel unqualified to comment on the current state of the franchise. But the second one also had similar like bad release time. It was kind of at the end of lockdown.
Yeah, the other second one I think it had a fine release date. I know this.
It still broke a bunch of records and everything, but I just remember it was like one of those like first movies that was like theaters only. We're not doing a coincidental streaming release.
Yeah.
You got to go back out.
James Cameron refused to, and James Cameron says this one needs to make a boatload of money for him to continue to make these ones because they are getting expensive.
And they continue to.
But it is one of the worlds I do like to sort of step in and take part in. Personally, for me, I'd put it above at least the Harry Potter of the worlds.
Interesting. I mean, it's definitely a more fully fleshed out verse. I'm curious to see how the next two kind of expand the Avatar world. Because I will say, like, the first one was visually very good. Like, it was worth it to go see the 3D action and everything. All of that was utilized very well. But in terms of storytelling, it was a kind of just reskin Dances with Wolves. Like, it was a story we'd heard before in a interesting new setting. The use of the term unobtainium notwithstanding, as the MacGuffin mineral that they need on the world. Was it Pandora?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, getting that world fleshed out a little more does sound appealing, especially knowing he has another 4 or 5 up the pipeline.
Thought he was signed up for 6 or 7, so
I thought
4.
it was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So
it's got a lot of Zoe Saldana.
Hey, we love to see Zoe flourish.
Very much so, but I do love me some World of Pandora, especially as we're kind of getting more and more of the world from, especially what we've seen of it and know of Pandora. We've only seen just a little bit of it, and I'm excited to explore more.
Good thing James Cameron isn't an old man now, and he'll definitely be alive to finish all 3 or 4 more of these.
I'm sure, because I think he's filming them like
they are going pretty nonstop on it.
Very much
This is what he's
so.
like spending a decade on.
Yeah, I think because 2's been done for a long time. I think 3's been done for a while, except for all the fun bits and pieces of CGI that those poor souls have to do.
Zoe does need some breaks to be in the T-Mobile commercials now, I think.
Yeah, and she doesn't need to do. She's not Marvel anymore. So
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely I think the biggest end of year sneak in here outside of maybe the SpongeBob movie.
SpongeBob movie's sneaking in there, and what's the Timothy Marty something? I'll tell you here.
Oh, that's right.
Marty Supreme. That's the word. That's the name of the movie, Marty Supreme, where he becomes a competitive tennis player and tries to tell a story of what it means to go from the bottom to the top.
Interesting. Had not even heard of that one yet.
A24, so it's an independent film right up your alley. Timothy Chalamet may or may not be up your alley. He's very artsy. It's funny. He got it sat down with Carmel and did his kind of sports podcast, and I do. For him, he's so big now with all the movies he's done. Dune. I can't even remember all the big things he's done.
He's been in a lot of
especially
franchises
recently.
Yeah.
In the past few years.
but he is a certified old head nerd.
He's a certified old head New York nerd, but for him, he always understands that he is a theater kid, and
Oh, sure.
he's always going to be there for the theater people.
Timmy's got a good range. He's a theater kid, but he will go on the college football pregame and be able to fully do his predictions like with good reasoning and everything. He hoops it up with old Adam Sandler. Man, multifaceted.
Very much so.
He's hit or miss for me in terms of acting, but
depends on what the movie is. I agree there, but
can't
knock
go the hustle.
Can't go wrong with table tennis on this one. That is up your alley.
That is up my alley. Our grandma's favorite, the Anaconda remake, quote unquote.
That's a New Year, New Me sort of movie where they're taking the idea of Anaconda and making it less
it's a meta thing of
question mark and making it funnier.
It's a little bit more slapsticky comedy instead of just like raw horror of a big snake monster. But yeah, it's like the meta. It's a movie about trying to make a movie remake of Anaconda.
This sounds like King Kong.
A little bit. And there's the Hugh Jackson musical, Song Sung Blue. I'm sure you've seen some of the ads for that one. No?
There's a musical? I know Hugh Jackson's, he's like the only guy who does like the big screen musicals anymore, it feels like.
Two down on their luck performers form a Neil Diamond tribute band, proving it's never too late to find love and follow your dreams. A classic feel-good one for the whole family who likes and can sit through musicals. And Zootopia 2 is also out.
Everyone likes the Zootopia.
Yeah.
If you were to go out to the movies, let's say tomorrow or Tuesday, if you're in our neighborhood, because that's when you get the specials.
You've got to go on the Tuesday.
You're going to sit down for the 3.5 hour long Avatar experience, or are you going to go dive into some Zootopia? What is more your speed these days?
The only reason I'm going to say Zootopia is because I still need to see the second one. I wouldn't want to go one straight into 3.
That's fair.
But the other little bit of a restrictive thing is that length. The 3 hours plus of runtime is a little bit of a different movie-going experience versus the hour 50 of Zootopia 2.
Yeah, let me tell you, my old man self trying to do a midnight release of Avatar, and I was committed.
Yeah, that feels real good now in the late 20s.
It does, and let me tell you, there's nothing more exciting when you sit down and you don't really Google how long the movie is. I'm just there for the experience. And realizing that experience is 3.5 hours long at a 9:30 start, which is really a 10 o'clock start for movie time.
Yeah. After you get through all the ad rolls and previews and whatnot.
Yeah.
Very much so. That is, and that long runtime is part of why it takes James so long to pump these babies out.
Very much so. What else do you want to talk about in our year of rap here?
I was gonna ask, since we're still talking about media, if there was any albums that really slam dunked for you this year. I don't think I had any.
I don't know.
Specifically 2025 ones.
I don't know if I've listened to an album from this year.
Well, you don't go for a full album?
I'd go for a full album, but not most of them are not from this year anymore.
Interesting.
The couple that I have saved off are the Karma album from the Stray Kids that released this year, which was one of their first full albums. And then I don't know if this one counts, but Mutt by Leon Thomas also might be worth your taste. He's it's like a very smooth, chill sort of vibe if you are in for that or in the mood for that. But he released sort of a deluxe edition version of that album. Very, very good.
Interesting. I do remember that I was very into the release of the new Sabrina Carpenter this year. I found that I actually like pretty much most of her library. So that was a pretty solid entry. What else came out this year? The Baby No Money. I like a lot of that album. I won't say it's top to bottom bangers for me, but
tough to remember all the albums because there's, especially in the music industry these days, it feels like they're pumping out everything's an album. You got all the people who are doing just the singles and the EPs and things like that.
Justin Bieber had an album this year?
Yes. That was very early on, though, if I remember correctly. Also,
Counts.
It feels like this year's been flying by a little bit.
For sure. This one I have actually listened to and is one that I would say is noteworthy of talking about. Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. I'm sure you've heard some of the singles off of this one, because this one struck me with a memory of a category of music that has disappeared in my time.
Ska?
No, Ska's still alive and well. This is an album that would have been categorized back in the 90s as easy listening, and that's a thing that doesn't exist anymore.
That does, like, is that considered like elevator music these days?
That's kind of what it became, which is I think why the industry kind of dropped the term, but it was also like, who was it? John Tesh was a saxophonist still doing, and then like, who were the horn players like Chuck Mangione, and there was a saxophone one. I am
curious, like, if there's an easy listening category, does that imply that there's music
hard listening?
Yeah. What does a hard listen to feel like?
There's some hard listens for sure. Taylor Swift coming in at number 15 for The Life of a Showgirl, which
I forgot about that.
We discussed that one a little bit. Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl. Everyone loves
Live,
Earl.
Laugh, Love. Sabrina Carpenter coming in at number 13. Addison Rae. I maybe have heard that name. I don't recognize the face, though. I'm an old man. I don't know who these newfangled music artists are.
You're reaching a point where, also, I don't know a lot of these artists. They're just kind of popping out everywhere now these days, but yeah.
Playboy Cardi. Oh, Hayley Williams of Paramore did a solo album this year. Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party coming in at the number 9 spot. Wednesday is a band, I guess. I would associate it with the Netflix television show, but Tyler Childers at number 7. Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out.
That's a good album. It's a very hip-hoppy album. Very good.
Okay. Number 5, Geese, Getting Killed. Not heard of that band. Number 4, Dijon with Baby. Haven't heard of that.
I'm curious.
Does he work with Mustard?
No, he does not.
Why not? That's a pretty obvious one there. I
think they're in two different musical genres, but over my time here listening to audio and being president, one, I don't listen to the radio really ever anymore unless it's sports.
I listen to only the one station, but I've listened to more radio recently on my drives to work than ever.
I can't do it. I don't want to sit through the commercials. I just want to get to the slaps, which are all on my Spotify playlist. Thank you, Spotify. Please go follow our podcast there and give us a review. Thank you very much. But for me, like, the radio station I used to listen to, and I don't know if it's just a hip hop thing or whatever, has changed over just so much in my lifetime. Like, I used to listen to it a lot more in high school because they used to have like the morning show announcer people that I got to know and got to hang out with a little bit because I had my off period, and there's nothing else to do in an off period but sit out and chill. And now it's turned into a very different place that I do not recognize.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. I'm very thankful that 93.3 has relatively, like, there is very much like a sourdough starter of 90s and early 2000s that you just kind of have to mix into every playlist on that station. And you mix in plenty of new stuff from the last 15-ish years. But I know I can always still rely on a Chili Pepper song coming up. Some of my 90s classics still get classic rotation there.
Yeah, I don't unfortunately, guys, I don't have that luxury as much in the hip hop world because you kind of have to have 3 stations. You have to have your old school station. You got to have your station that does the 2000 stuff, which is kind of
throwbacks.
Old school. Yeah, and then you have all the new stuff that them kids are listening to, even though they're not listening to the radio, but just in case.
Yeah, to try and draw them in.
Yes, lure them in.
For sure. Let's see here. I do recognize the 2 and 3 spot. Number 3 is Rosalia with Lux.
Never heard
of that. Number 2 was Lady Gaga.
Oh, her new album got a lot of people
Mayhem comes in at number 2. I don't think I would know any of that if I heard it, though. And then Rolling Stone has Bad Bunny at number 1.
Naturally, because Bad Bunny rules the world, especially in the music industry right now.
For sure.
Which is why he's going to the Super Bowl, at everyone's chagrin. Bad Bunny.
There's certainly a large section of folks who want a whiter, more twangy Super Bowl, I assume.
Very much so. But how could you deny the man that was in Happy Gilmore 2?
Did a great job in Happy Gilmore 2. Played his comedy very well.
Would you like some more breadsticks?
Good bits. Oh, the other one that circle back to movies a little bit here that I did forget was the Netflix new entry in the Knives Out mystery series.
I need to watch that one still.
I have also not taken it in, but Wake Up Dead Man, the third entry in the Benoit Blanc mystery line, is out and available now for end-of-year browsing.
For your nice long break that you will have hopefully between Christmas and New Year, and get to celebrate with your family, and especially if maybe some of those games do not go as well as Netflix thinks on that Christmas day, got something to flip on for your family.
Yeah, there's plenty of other great content on Netflix for when, I think it's the Lions game is going to have the K-pop Demon Hunters performance now at halftime.
Yep.
And then...
Thank you, Netflix.
And then Broncos will be on.
They will.
And you could watch it if you feel like, but it really won't count for much.
I feel bad for whoever has to broadcast that game.
And it's mostly Netflix.
I think it is Netflix, but
all day.
To get a Broncos-Chiefs game, but realize it's not the Chiefs that you purchased, but instead you get the Cracker Jack version of that team.
Yeah, not great. While we're tangentially talking about sports, our sports end-of-year discussion here now. Those longtime listeners of the show will know that this time last year we were a more sports-focused program, but we've seen a lot here since January. Any highlights of the year for you? Going through the list of playoffs from the end of last year. We had a whole lot of baseball.
The biggest highlight for me, and I think the biggest shock for a lot of people, including myself, is unfortunately our Broncos streak did end here, but 11 straight games of winning and almost 2 months of without a loss. I think that's huge, and I don't think it's anything anyone would have guessed from where we were last season, who barely skated into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge leap forward in improvement, far ahead of my prediction for the schedule of this rebuild. But did you see the stat about the Denver teams in the month of November? We put up the best 3-team performance in
Avs are first,
history.
Broncos are first, Nuggets are second in the Western Conference, which is the conference to be in if you're in the NBA.
They got all 3 teams got points or like wins in 22 out of 26 possible games over that month.
That's insane.
It was like a 890 win percentage or something.
Yeah,
had not been done before.
And right below my Bronco win streak is, of course, all the acquisitions the Nuggets did this offseason to make them a for real team like that will threaten the Thunder.
That Nuggets offseason was a memorable one for sure. This was a kind of break the mold, trying something new here.
Yep, bring in some new faces for GM, because what we had before was toxic and does not work. Who would have guessed? I think everybody would have probably guessed that. But now that our work relationship is all good and healthy now, getting the players that we need, especially coming out of free agency, is not something we do here in the town of Denver in general. For the most part, we're very homegrown. Usually,
yeah, the free agent splashes tend to be big.
Yeah,
if they ever occur.
Yeah, I think those are the top 2 on my list. I'm excited to see when we come back a year from now, next December, and we can sit down and talk about how much the Rockies did things allegedly or hopefully now with their big
There's
change.
A lot of shakeup in that front office for sure. We will have to see how that actually plays out. I will definitely shout out the World Series from this year as a highlight. That went a full 7 games back and forth, all-time performances from.
I think it's without a question, one of the best World Series of all times.
It's a top fiver,
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
And it's not.
And
you
then
can
kind of biases on how you want
you
to
can
rank
put
them.
it in contention for number one, but
For sure. I would have a pretty good easy time arguing that. Yamamoto and Otani with legendary performances. And yeah, that Dodgers blueprint seems to be working.
Yeah, the other thing I think we can't go without shouting out, because I would think we got a lot of our listeners and viewers coming from, it's a lot of the women's sports just making huge splashes. The WNBA run that Vegas had there at the end, where they won like 26 or something straight before they lost the one game in the finals.
Asia's second half of the season was insane this year. That does have to be remembered. That was, yeah, they went from a 500 team at the All-Star break to just running
the number
away with
2
the
team
league.
in the league.
Yeah,
which is an insane thing to do for any sport.
Very similar to what the Avs are doing this regular season. My hockey call out will be the calendar year of 2025 that Nathan MacKinnon is putting up is going to be one of the all-time best in hockey history.
And will be overlooked because of voter fatigue.
Perhaps. Probably not, though. This is going to be an Avs team for the ages. We are first in literally every major stat category except for power play.
The one thing I will say that both of our teams that play in Ball Arena have now is we know that Jokic and McKinnon are top of the top, potentially all-time players of all-time players, like Hall of Famer. If they retired today, they'd go into the Hall of Fame without a question. But
yeah, no doubt, first ballot.
Yeah, but this season, both of them have support around them. McKinnon has support not only in the net, but around him. Just his team is back and not hurt having to play with
his
call-ups.
Captain's back. The lines are deeper. The goaltending situation is solved. He's getting jived up for an Olympics run as well, where he's actually maybe going to play some top line minutes, not be a third liner this time.
Never. He would never.
We'll see. But yeah, this is going to be remembered as a golden era for the Ball Arena teams for sure. And then the fact that the Broncos have already jumped up into number 1 seed conversation, certainly that is a little bit of gravy on top.
It's a question I think we started earlier on with our podcast at the very beginning of 321 Presents. Is Denver a top 5, top 4 sports town? Is it a big market city potentially if you are an athlete?
I mean, I think the rumors are getting out, and I think it's maybe there are certain personality types amongst athletes who are more drawn to the Denver lifestyle, but for a certain type of athlete, we hold a very strong appeal in terms of like having good array of activities to do outside of your sports time. Being close to the skiing, being close to all your summertime mountaineering, hiking activities. Fishing is a popular one. With golf, we have plenty of good courses around. So off-season activities are plenty. The sunshine, and there's a lot of like good, especially with all the winning that's happening. Good organizational appeal as well, between the Kroenke household and the new Walter Penner ownership group for the Broncos, and then we know what a tight ship that Joe and C-Mac run for the Ice team. It's there's a lot to like to coming here, I feel like.
And I think the one thing that we offer that you may not get in some of the other cities you go to is fans really care. Most of the fans really care about what happens.
And this is a thing that the 96 Avs players who just did a reunion for the 30th anniversary of that Stanley Cup to make me feel old as dirt.
Where we know Joe Sakic was overpaid and Peter Forsberg was underpaid.
Yes. Talked about for Patrick Waugh in particular, who came out of Montreal. Toronto also has this reputation of they're a die-hard hockey town where you are public scrutiny items, and you are easily recognizable to everyone in the general public, and everyone has some opinions about what you could be doing better, which is maybe not a super comfortable, like, going and hanging out vibe. I think Denver has the appeal of there are pockets of concentrate of like really passionate people that follow the sport to that level, but overall we don't have the like. Most people are going to be pretty chill about it here, about encountering the athletes out and about, where you're just like, oh hey, go team, and let them on with their lives.
Yeah, that time was a different time in general. There's a lot of people. There's a reason that we had a show called Pros versus Joes or around that time.
Which was a classic bit of TV history, and there are some good recaps of that on the YouTubes if you're not familiar with that program.
Very, very good.
The audacity of middle-aged men who think they could do anything better than pro athletes.
Yes, it is insane. But that being said, I think depends on here in Denver. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the teams play little brother to our beloved Denver Broncos. Here, they are the face of Colorado, if I do say so myself. We care about all of our other sports in general because the turnout for the Avs and Nuggets, like, you can't buy a season ticket anymore. There's a wait line now. Like, it's not like it was before. We know how long the Broncos season ticket is wait line. You have to put your children on, and maybe when they retire, they'll get one then.
14 years, something like that.
Yeah, insanity, like 20 or 30 years, something crazy like that. But I mean, overall, the care that we have here is, I think as an athlete, I prefer that over being very apathetic, whether a team wins or loses, or having the fan base hold me accountable or not care whether we win or lose.
Yeah, for sure. It's feels better to have the expectation of winning built into the culture of the team rather than going to a team where the fans are wearing paper bags situation.
Not ideal. Where else can you possibly win a championship and go out into the city amongst your friends and family and fans that you just won a championship for, like Aaron Gordon, and just basically have your parade for a night there?
Yeah. It's a unique vibe for sure, and I think one that a lot of people are growing on. Unfortunately, there are still some places like Dallas and Florida that just offer big tax breaks.
Dallas, Florida, yes. People still like to go out to California and New York too, which do not offer those big tax breaks, but offer you wealth of opportunity.
This is also true. If you're into the notoriety, Denver is not always the market for you.
Very much so. And if you want to maybe or maybe not sell trees, we got a place for
you. That's for sure. While we're doing media recap here, do you have I know we've discussed what the official Game of the Year awards entailed, and that it was Clair Obscur by a landslide in every category. But you and I were not on that bandwagon this year. So were there any releases from the calendar year of 2025 that caught your attention this year and made you say, yeah, that was a good one?
I think the only games that I've played this year were Pokemon and Dispatch, if I remember correctly, and a little bit of the new Jurassic Park as well.
That is a little wild.
Yeah, I still go back and play all my old ones. I've been in.
Well, that was going to be my follow-up question is, second category for Game of the Year is non-2025 releases. What do you got? Which was your most played or like left the biggest impression on you? Or maybe you got like something extra out of the latest playthrough?
For me, I think the game that I spent a lot of time in, just required even just to get through the main story, was Triangle Strategy, which is a little bit of an older game, but offered a different type of gameplay. I'm a big RPG fan, very much like yourself, and I like the tactic of it and figuring out how to keep the whole party alive sort of system, but also knowing that I can do my best to control the story, but there is a method of voting that you have to go through, and sometimes if you don't do things right, you have to go with whatever the party decides, whether you like it or not.
Interesting. That's a fun little wrinkle on that mechanic.
Very much so.
Yeah, I would have to say I also did not play many of the 2025 releases outside of my big one that I have talked about many times.
I wonder what it's going to be, and if there's a ghost involved.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. No. Ghost of Yotei is my 2025 game of the year. It did make me buy a PlayStation 5 for it. I'm torn, though, of my non 2025 games because if it was just purely by playing volume, I would have to say it was like Stardew Valley.
That's insane.
I spent a lot of the beginning of the year while I was waiting for new releases, working on a new farm. I was waiting for the patch to release on console, and once it did, I was like, okay, new farm time. And that was just kind of my drop in, go to, play a few days before bedtime type of thing. Because otherwise, again, didn't get very deep into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, although I have it in the library. Outer Worlds 2 is a similar one where like I'm still on that second planet. I haven't really picked that one up in a little bit. And didn't do Clair Obscur. I do think both of us will enjoy the Final Fantasy Ivalice Chronicles. We'll just keep an eye out for when that goes on sale, though. But that was from this year.
Yeah, a lot of the games have been sort of announced here, especially from the Game Awards, but also as the year sort of ends, is to keep your eye out for.
There's always the seasonal sales on all the storefronts and whatnot. But yeah, it's those French. They kind of really steamrolled the heat this year.
I don't know if you saw, but earlier today they got one of their awards taken away.
I did see something about one of the outlets did take them out of contention because of their use of generative AI.
Yeah, they lost their award for Indie Game of the Year because they did not fall within the parameters of using generative AI.
Interesting, because that is not one that I had heard of, like falling into that category. But I mean, that's another. That's a thing that the Larian Studios got a lot of flack for this week as well, when people were asking questions about Divinity that they just teased for us, and then the CEO was like, "Yeah, we have our artists using generative AI now in the like brainstorming process and stuff," and they're like, "That sucks. Don't do that, please. Just let the artists do the art that you pay them for." And the CEO had to kind of like try and they've scheduled a Q&A now with the public to clarify how they are making use of the AI tools. But I mean, that will also be a thing that I think 2025 is remembered for. Is this is the year when sort of AI broke loose.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, and not in that science fiction-y like, the machines are so smart and they're going to take over. No, it's just the companies are decided this was the year that all the products needed to have some sort of a speech-based co-pilot assistance sort of thing that is no longer optional.
That's fair.
What else we got this year? I'm trying to find the source on it because I'm getting different results here on the word of the year. A thing that
I thought the
dictionaries do to try and stay relevant, remind people that they exist. Because I had a thing written down here that I'm not seeing any of the major ones backing me up on. Where I had read somewhere that
Is there any right answer other than what Webster said?
Oh, there's lots of contention in the world about the who you source your dictionary from.
But it feels like
Webster's got some haters.
I get that, but also they are the dictionary.
Well, they're one of the dictionaries. There's also the Oxford Dictionary, which turns out is the one that I'm quoting here. The 2025 word of the year from the Oxford Dictionary is rage bait. Which, yeah, it feels like maybe is topical, but doesn't feel like that's a 2025 specific.
No, I like the Webster's version. Word of the year better.
Slop.
Slop.
Similar, same vein for sure. Yeah, that definitely feels like 2025. specific because the Oxford one, 2024 was Brain Rot, 2023 was Riz, 2022 was Goblin Mode, and I think it's funny that those three precede Rage Bait. Just as a
We go to Cambridge, their word of the year is parasocial, which is all of these words are mostly coming from your favorite streamers.
a little bit. Because that was the Cambridge.
Indeed.
Oh, sure. Dictionary.com, pandering to its online heavy audience. The 2025, and this is topical. Their word of the year is 6-7.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I dare not even wander into. So that was word of the year.
You can choose your favorite: parasocial, rage bait, or 6-7, or slop. What a wide array of various meaning words.
I think just as a way of taking the temperature on the year as a whole, it left people with a funny taste in its mouth.
We'll have to ask our Twitch expert around here, our live stream expert around here, why these words?
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're paying attention. What else do we have in this year? It didn't quite gamify it very well, but there is I found a funny list of events that have happened on New Year's Day, and there's some good. There's a lot of, as you can imagine, as it is the beginning of a new year. It's like a good opportunity for institutions and whatnot to roll out new ways of doing things and whatnot. There are some very interesting things I found just scrolling through the list. Maybe you know this one. Do you know when the first Rose Bowl happened?
Oh, that happened. I want to say in the 60s or 70s is what I want to say, but that might be either a little too late. Could potentially be in the 50s.
The first college football game, the Rose Bowl between Michigan and Stanford, was played on January 1st, 1902.
Damn, that's much earlier than what I had anticipated.
That is an old tradition.
Very old. I don't know. We didn't even care about football by then.
Yeah, very wild.
We were just waiting for spring training camp. Did they? I don't know if I guess, was spring training camp a thing?
Probably not for baseball.
You just show up for the first game?
Yeah, they're still hammering out contracts before, the game. You maybe got a couple weeks to practice before the season kicks off.
You see a dock worker throw, or a mailman throw a piece of mail real nice. You boy.
Basically. Yeah. What else here? There was a good one. Did you know that before 1947, there was no such thing as a Canadian citizen? Before that, they were still considered British subjects of the crown, because they were a still complete colony of Great Britain.
I feel strange. That feels
very much so.
Very weird.
That the concept of a Canadian citizen is not quite as old as our grandparents.
I got questions about.
This Canadian Citizenship Act of 1946 came into effect January 1st, 1947, converting British subjects into Canadian citizens. Prime Minister William Leon Mackenzie King becomes the first Canadian citizen.
I have questions. I have two questions. One, why did we decide to split? And also, two, French Canada is a thing.
Yes, that Quebec, Montreal.
I can't imagine they were all too thrilled about that. They're not thrilled. Just I think those are the ones that are not thrilled to be Canadian citizens in general, if I remember correctly.
I mean, the Quebec is generally the home of like the nationalists who are like, we should secede into our own country again.
Canada too, but yes.
Yeah. That was an interesting one to me. And then what else that was there? A lot of technical. January 1st, 1983, a very important thing happens. The ARPANET officially changes to using the Internet Protocol Standard, creating what we now know today as the Internet, January 1st, 1983. It's only 5 years older than me.
The internet, to be fair, is still very, very new. Like,
oh, absolutely.
It's kind of crazy to think about what is considered like old. Like, YouTube is considered like an old internet thing for the mostest part, but that's not even.
Which is wild because I remember when YouTube was brandy new.
Yeah.
And I was on it, and they did not have copyright checks on me uploading Three Doors Down music videos.
It was a wild, wild west out there for a little bit.
It really was. Good times though. Good fun times. Any other January 1st highlights here? A lot of lowlights on this Wikipedia list that I won't bummer us down with, but I have to see if we have any fun properties coming out into the public domain again.
Batman is coming very, very soon. I know that. Mickey Mouse is on the cusp, if I remember correctly. There are some very, very big ones that I know are coming very, very soon. Also, that I don't understand what. Whom's decides?
Generally, the country's copyright laws. In the U.S., it's generally if you haven't used a work in 100 years, it will enter the public domain.
Yeah, but some of them are like, how are they ever going to go public domain?
Yeah. Some people, I mean, it's a cost thing that some people keep up and some don't.
Let's see here. 2026, the big ones are Betty Boop and Pluto.
Pluto the dog?
Pluto the dog. Because we got Mickey and Minnie Mouse in 2024.
Interesting.
Like, some of these are insane. Goofy doesn't enter public domain until 28. 29 is King Kong and Donald Duck. Then in like 34, you get Superman. 35, you get Batman and Bugs Bunny. And then 36 is Captain America, the Joker. And 37 is Wonder Woman, which are all like insane characters to have public domain.
That will be a very fun time in terms of what the movie landscape looks like. Because I imagine in 11 years, there's not going to be quite such a tight hold on, like, the studios have to see that that's coming up, and we're like, all right, let's get all our properties in a line here.
Prepping, especially like some of those like Batman and Superman, Bugs Bunny, it's huge hitters.
Well, and there's always like the specification, like the Mickey Mouse one is very specifically the black and white Steamboat Willie design. You can't use the red shorts, yellow button, suspender, white gloves Mickey, that sort of thing. Winnie the Pooh is like the same. You can't use the Disney red shirt Winnie the Pooh, but you can do a naked Winnie the Pooh. Or as they say on Dropout, a no shirt, no panties Winnie the Pooh.
That's crazy.
But correct.
Not wrong, but it is crazy.
Yep.
And then, of course, 2025, we got the famous 1010 and Popeye.
Okay. Surprised though. Well, I have seen, because normally the first thing that happens with the big properties that come out on to public domain is the poorly made horror game ripoffs start flooding out.
Winnie the Pooh makes a lot more sense now that I remember the terrible horror.
Yeah, and then the horror movies come out a little later, just because they have a little more runtime, like lead up time in production. But yeah, that'll be fun to look forward to.
I'm ready for it, actually. How bad could it possibly be?
There are some interesting entries in film and media or literature. The Marx Brothers are entering public domain.
That feels insane because those are just. Can a person just enter public domain?
Their published works can. A couple Alfred Hitchcock movies are hitting public domain.
They're old.
They are old. We're all getting old. But yeah, I think you did hit the big ones. Not a lot of interesting things to do with Pluto. I don't think. It's just like a sidekick dog.
You can make a horror film like Good Boy with Pluto.
I suppose that's
How
true.
exciting would that be? He come from him on the dethroned planet Pluto himself, facing off against space monsters.
Interesting backstory. I'm not sure if that's the official take, but
Could make him like a Superman dog.
it could, I suppose. I do remember one other New Year's topic that I'd love to discuss, and that is, when do you think the sweet spot is for New Year's celebration? Because I think you and I will be in agreement on this that there is a window as you get older where it's like, oh, it's fun to stay up late to get to midnight for New Year's Eve, and you're like a little kid. And as like a teenager, it's like, oh, this is kind of like a going out doing like party stuff holiday, but like as a teenager, you can't really do the fun partying, quote unquote. Early 20s, like an expectation of like, oh, what are we doing for New Year's? Going out, doing something cool. And then there's a point after that era in your life when I think it becomes back to, it kind of circles all the way to, oh, I have to stay up till midnight. How exciting.
Yeah, I think the right time period, and it all depends on your lifestyle and a bunch of other factors that
yeah,
go,
this is coming from two folks who wake up very early.
that go along. Two folks that wake up very early. Depends on, like I said, all depends on who you are and what you enjoy and what your lifestyle is. But I think the right frame is usually sort of those mid to late high school years, all the way up to, I'm going to generously give you your mid 30s is what I'll say. And this is
Wild.
this is all assuming that, one, you work a normal 9 to 5-ish sort of job, unlike me, who's a monster and chooses to wake up at 5:15 to go very early in, or someone like you who'd worked in a bakery and had to be up at extraordinarily odd early morning times.
Yes. There was also an era where I was in like the food service industry where like I was just doing closings and like.
Yeah, and I'm leaving here at 1 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's also horrendous. But I picked this area because, one, there are all the time periods where it's mandatory to go out, do something, perhaps, if that is what you enjoy or what your friend group does or what like your partner does or whatever. Or if you do not have a partner, it's a great time to go out and meet people because there's so many people out and about and do things.
There is like that is one of the things about New Year's in particular is that it is sort of multi-purpose in that it is just sort of an excuse to party, and like the one obligation of a New Year's party is to have some observation of the countdown. And otherwise you can theme it however you want. You can theme it like for New Year, for the past year, for way past, like you can do any theming you want on it. It can be a like mingling, networking, it can be close friends, it can be mixed groups. There's kind of anything goes on a New Year's party.
Now here's my gruff here is, I dislike the fact that we have just sort of the one New Year's broadcast here in America. Why? Because it's in New York, where we are 2 hours
in one very specific time
where we
zone.
are 2 hours away from. California's 3 hours away from. The Central is an hour away from. And if you live in Hawaii, you're not getting that for 6 hours. It's already on the Twitter feed.
It is a great point.
8 hours, actually.
I think a bit of a propaganda technique to make New York seem. They don't need it. Like, New York, you're important for many other reasons than just the New Year's Eve ball thing. I do think there should be a regional
I agree.
celebration of some sort.
I think it should almost be like a little bit of a drawing in a lottery. Like New York,
it should be figured out amongst the time zones who your representative is going to be each year. In the East, maybe you just let New York do it.
And then there's places like Nevada where you don't abide by any time zone sometimes, but you're Nevada and you can do your own thing.
There will be
time doesn't exist in the casinos.
I think Arizona similarly would be on a different time scale.
They can hook up and figure it out. Arizona, you follow what Nevada has your broadcast for you.
You guys are right next to the West Coast time zone anyway. Just celebrate with them.
Very much so.
I would have to agree though that the sweet spot is definitely that late teens. I'm gonna say early 20s.
So there is a cap. There's a big old asterisk here. There's not even small print that the pain tolerance or the pain that you receive post New York
Because
celebration also exponentially grows with.
there is a pretty hard spike on that outside of the early 20s range. Very quickly that you do discover. So, I would say it has definitely sounded less and less appealing the further I've gotten from that range to do like a let's go out and party on New Year's Eve sort of situation.
No, like I said, if whatever it fits for some people, and if it fits the what you need or you like to do, go out and hang, man.
And I will say this year promises to be a pretty good one for those parties, considering what wildly warm weather we have for the season.
I'm sure there's no reason for that.
No, nothing to worry about long term at all. It has just been regularly 60 degrees here in December.
It's not concerning at all that we live in the mountains and have seen snow once.
Just the once.
I am a little worried. Well, I guess if the mountains are getting snow, I don't have to worry about water. But I would like.
I mean, we generally run at a deficit. Technically, we can't have too many years like this.
Time to figure out how to siphon the sea, I guess.
Well,
that's an event. Where's Shark Tank for that?
Desalination. Have this be this can be a project that someone undertakes in 2026, not me. But to research desalination efforts, because definitely many people have had the idea. What if we just use the ocean water?
Yeah, think about it. We could save the polar bear.
It's getting closer to being efficient, but it's still pretty tricky to get that salt out of there effectively.
Oh, you could think about. You could have just this cool little factory. One makes. Do you know how much you could? I don't like the capitalism of this of charging for the water, but also then you get the salt too. That's like a. Wow, what a deal! Let me tell you.
Yeah, because there is a market for salts, absolutely. Speaking of things that people might do we have any individual or podcast specific resolutions for our coming new year of 2026?
I don't know. I think this year we've gone through what feels like a lot of change already because we did the one for a little over a year, a couple weeks over our first year. I do like what we are doing now, but now I think for me, I want to figure out a way to hit that sweet spot and start to continue to grow again or find ways to branch out and continue to grow our roots. Like we kind of discussed, we are in a place that does not feel like we have a lot of social media coverage in general, unless it's sports. We have so many different sports coverages here in the Mile High State because, like we talked about, that's one of the things.
It's a great time to be a sports fan.
Great time to be a sports fan, and everyone's very passionate about sports. Usually, there are the few who out there who may or may not, but when we're looking at like TV and movies and books or whatever it is, we normally just follow what's big, which is the New Yorks and the Californians and things like that to get that sort of media source from usually.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think I am definitely having a fun time branching out from pure sports coverage here on 321 Presents, and I look forward to continuing to explore the space for the new year in terms of, throwing in new segments, new formats, definitely still testing the waters to see what, as we said, is going to get the most ears on the waves.
Yeah, and I think luckily enough, and there was a point where everyone has the podcast, but we've been consistent enough in doing so and putting one out every week, even now that we kind of figured out a schedule that we get one out during Christmas and the New Year's where we usually would have taken off. And just finding the one, we just need the one clip that hits to get all the production where you can come to us and we will too read ads for you. I'm not opposed to reading ads.
Yeah, absolutely. That is for sure. Otherwise, let's see. In personal resolutions for 2026, I'm honestly not a big resolutions for the new year guy, because my thinking is if it's something that you would like, because most people likely like I'm gonna diet or like make some big life change for a resolution. And my thing is like, if it's that important of a life change thing, why are you waiting for an arbitrary date to do? Like, some people, I guess, need that motivation, but me, it's like if I recognize a change that I want to make in my life, I'll just start doing it. I'm not gonna wait for January.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's continued like personal growth. A couple things on my list that are going to be fun and exciting, like potentially traveling outside the country for the first time ever, because we know how much I love traveling. And boy, oh boy, I don't have any fear of a plane or being stuck in a small space for a very long time.
Oh boy.
But also like continuing to grow the space that we live in, figuring out how we can make it better and doing things like that.
Very good, very good. Well then, just a quick rundown on what we can look forward to in the new year in 2026. You can look forward to coverage on those Winter Olympics kicking off in February over in Italy, where we will follow all the happenings. We love a good Olympics coverage. Zach and I do.
They do, and they hit for us actually.
And this will be our first time getting to cover the Winter Games.
I'm so excited to cover that egg-shaped arena.
Yeah, if it gets done, we saw they leaked footage from inside the construction zone, and it's gonna be down to the wire for sure. They apparently still need to pave some roads out to this arena as well, so it'll be very interesting to see what transpires in those Winter Games. We also theoretically, we will see how it rolls out. Have a World Cup coming to the States this summer as well.
Yeah, we know how well. Yeah, we did good with soccer this last year of the little coverage that I did on the sports podcast. That was fun for everyone, I believe.
I mean, it's the every 4 years occasion when everyone pays attention to soccer, so we'll have to have some thoughts and comments on it.
Very much so.
And those are our big highlights of the year. We will hopefully also be talking deep into the playoffs for our Ball Arena teams and our Denver Broncos. And we'll get to see, what the Rockies front office puts together for us in this offseason. What else we'll be looking for? There's, I think that Spider-Verse third flick is due out this coming year.
Maybe, who knows?
If it doesn't get delayed. And we've already mentioned recently the games on the horizon. So
yeah, I'm excited to see because I know there's supposed to be a new announcement for that new Fabled game that everyone's very, very exciting and fiending for. That's supposed to come out in 2026.
Interesting. Well, we will have to keep our eyes open for that. And until next time, we will talk to you in the fresh days of January. And this will be our last podcast from 2025. And thanks for taking the journey with us this year. If you stuck around this long, you're a real one, and we sure do appreciate you listening. Go ahead and share a clip around, maybe though.
Yeah.
Zach, give them the spiel.
Yeah, we have plenty of clips. We have some excellent animations coming across as well. People do seem to love those, and if you would share those around, that'd be cool. And maybe we could get some follows from you listening and the friends who you brought along with you. If you do like us and enjoy us, give us that 5-star rating. If you don't and you want to see some change in us, we're open to that, and give us a review.
The comments are open. We have not disabled them.
No, they are wide open for all of you guys to discuss and for us to hear you guys and hear what you guys want to hear us talk about. If you are on the Spotify and Apple, that's all available for you. If you are over on our YouTube or possibly the website 321 Pods, you have not been there yet, maybe it's worthwhile to check something out. Maybe go check out the YouTube. If maybe you just want to throw that on the TV for the background noise, I'm all down for that as well.
Yeah, we've got playlists on the YouTube to facilitate that for several. I think we're over 12 hours of listening playlists at your fingertips.
Yeah, perfect for you studying or whatever housework you have going on. And maybe to set the mood for even when the guests come around.
Reminisce about the entire week-by-week breakdown of 2025 just about with our full library.
Very much so. We have episodes, a wide variety of episodes that you can just go back and listen to anytime now. There are some topics that are potentially time-sensitive, but most of which all fit you can for everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so. But of course, thank you guys who have been along with us and been along for our journey here in our first year in 321 Presents. I have, of course, been your master host here. My name is Zach, and along with me, this has been Nick. We will see you guys in the new year, potentially with some fresh new sewing in the Mile High State.
Hey, hopefully. Adios.